Hi, it's Maria from Women into Wellness. Thanks for joining me today in this video in which I'm going to be sharing with you 10 wellness related gifts. Now, this is the holiday season, as you can see. I've got my Christmas tree all set up. So happy holidays to you if you do celebrate this time of the year. But these gifts can be given to anybody at any time of the year. So let's get stuck in. But first of all, welcome to my channel, Women into Wellness. This is where I provide you with tips, strategies, and some tools as to how you can maximize your potential for wellness and well-being. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, because I have a load of videos that are going to be dropping in soon, all around gift giving, but also carrying on my usual themes of movement, nutrition, mindfulness, and lifestyle to help see you out through the year and into the next year. So let's get started. Now, before I start talking about gifts that you can purchase or acquire from somewhere, I just want to add my personal thoughts on this. When we're thinking about gift giving, sometimes the most valuable gift you can give is the gift of giving your time, your consideration, your support, or your love to someone. And if you think of those four things, really they don't need to cost you any money whatsoever. And often these can have the most profound effect on someone because it shows that you know, love, and have cared for them, and that you really want to do something that matters to them. So always think about how you can give in that way first before you start reaching into your pocket or into your purse. But if you have your heart set on going out and spending some money, also a good thing. If you've got to afford it and you want to support the economy at the moment, then what I'm going to suggest is that as much as possible, try and support the smaller businesses. So whether this is a service-based business, so it's someone who does nails or does hair and you want to give a pamper gift, or perhaps it's someone who does a service like personal training or wellness coaching, or it's someone who makes beautiful handmade crafts such as earrings, jewellery, pottery, things that you can put around the house, things that you might use. Any of these things, it can pertain to food, drink, lifestyle, things that you actually need. Try and go to the smaller businesses to buy those products to support the little businesses that really need that help. So let's get started on the 10 wellness gifts that I've got for you today. The first of these is that you can focus on buying someone something that's actually going to increase their health. So this could be a membership to a gym. It could be a membership to an online portal that does something like exercise classes or yoga classes. It could be training sessions with a personal trainer, a wellness coach, or a nutritional therapist. If you really want to give someone the power to actually make huge steps and achieve some goals in terms of their wellness, well-being, and their level of health, then this can be a really great way of doing it. Now, it's also, if you're going to do this, you want to look into, of course, your price range, because this is going to be one of the more expensive options of a wellness gift, depending on whether you're buying someone and whether you can 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or a package of something, or an annual membership for something. So have a look at your options, but also remember that a lot of services or a lot of providers may also do gift certificates or vouchers. So for example, if you want someone to have membership to something and, for example, say it's £200 or £300 for the year and you can't afford that, then you can always look and see, or even ask that seller, that service, if there is an option for a voucher or a coupon, so that you can give that as a gift to someone so that they can then go ahead and use it in the way that they want and add a bit of their own money and collateral to it. Following it on from that is also to be able to buy someone a course. So an online course is going to be a bit more easy to buy because it's going to have a one-off fee in most occasions. So if you've known that somebody perhaps wants to try to learn how to sing, or they've wanted to go to an evening class and learn how to do pottery, or they want to dabble with photography and there's an online course available, or they want to get their menopause and hormone control sorted out and there's an online course or program for that. If it's something that's a one-off payment, this can be an amazing way to add value, show someone that you care, show someone that you've been listening, because perhaps they've been ranting about that thing or been enthused talking about what they'd like to learn or discover for themselves. You could buy that gift or course for them. What I will add though is make sure that they have the accessibility to do it. So if it's something they've got to physically turn up to, of course you want to make sure that if it's an evening class they can get to it. If it's going to be something online, make sure that they have the software and they have the ability and the time to be able to access that information and work through it. And also check, if you are buying online courses, you generally want something that is going to have longevity built into the product you're buying, so that once they have access for life. You really don't want to be buying someone a gift that they then feel hugely pressured by time to try and complete in 1 month, because then they don't have access to that course anymore. So you want them to be able to enjoy it, work at it in their own time, and do make sure you check that out before you buy it for them. Now, a lovely one is to buy some sports equipment. So I'm going to go through a few different types here, but a really good one at the moment, especially a lot of stress going around in the world, people trying to engage with mindfulness and develop a practice for themselves, is to buy someone something like a yoga mat, yoga bolsters, yoga blocks, a yoga strap. Now, you don't have to get them all of these things. Just getting them one of these things can be really helpful. And if you're going to focus on one and you have a lower budget, then I would suggest you go with the yoga mat if someone doesn't already have it. There are lots of lovely yoga mats out there. Now, these can be bought from places like department stores. They can be bought from online yoga sellers. You can also source them from places like Etsy if you want more of a personal touch, and some of these have beautiful designs on them. And yoga mats can be a really affordable option, and it's something that is quick and easy to get to someone, and something that then will hopefully trigger them creating a habit to use it. Now, I also mentioned yoga blocks. Similar, these can even be cheaper sometimes than a yoga mat. Yoga bolsters, these are props that you use, again, like the blocks, props that they can use, but use more so for restorative, restful yoga, or to help someone ease them into repose if they have less mobility and flexibility. These can be a bit more pricey, and you would be looking at getting yoga blocks that might be rectangular or cylindrical. If you're going to pick one, I would suggest a rectangular yoga bolster. So, moving on from those, we have some more equipment. If someone's looking into getting into fitness and they really want to be sorting out their posture or increasing their strength or sculpting their body and what we call toning up the muscles, then I would suggest you get them some resistance training equipment. So this can consist of resistance bands, and you can have the long stretchy bands, you can have the loop bands, and or getting them some dumbbells or weights. Now, when you're looking at dumbbells, you can either buy the set of dumbbells where, for example, you get a set of 3 and they might be, say, £2, £3, £5, or you could be getting someone a set of barbells and dumbbells that are ones that can be adjustable, or you can get ones that are built in, like the power block, where it's all in one unit and they can adjust them from there. But resistance training, really good for anyone who's looking at changing their body strength, increasing their muscle mass, and also increasing the way that they look through having that sculpting of the body. Now, if you're wanting to help someone with their flexibility, as well as having that time to just sort of ease out and stretch out, whether they do workouts particularly or not, then a great one to do is some myofascial aids. And these can be things such as a foam roller and or a spiky ball. Now, a spiky ball is going to be just a bit larger than the size of a tennis ball. It's usually made out of a really soft, pliable type of plastic amalgamation, and what you can do with these is these can just be used to roll underneath the foot or underneath sore spots in the backs or the shoulders against a wall, and they help to release the fascia and just kind of unstick it, so it can help improve mobility, but also can be used for trigger pointing. So if you know someone who's always complaining about tight knots in their shoulders or back, then they can use these kind of spiky balls to help ease those out, and they can also be used everywhere else in the body as well. And I mentioned foam rollers. Foam rollers are a really good one to use if you want to get into a foam rolling routine, and this can be something you can do after your regular exercise, or you can just do it on its own a couple of times throughout the week. If you're going to get one, then I suggest you don't go for the ones that are very heavily dimpled and corrugated, because you sometimes get smooth ones and you sometimes get ones that have a bit of a terrain going on and that. because they can be actually quite harsh on the tissues, and especially if someone is new to foam rolling, then all they need is a foam roller with a nice smooth exterior, and that is really going to be hitting the mark for getting out all of those knots, all of the tightness within that fascia, and that's all they'll need. Another one, and this is at the lower end of the range, is going to be getting a water bottle for someone. Now, a water bottle, it may sound boring, it may sound simple, but trust me, whether someone is working out or not working out, we could probably all do with thinking about our levels of hydration. So you can get a water bottle varying anywhere from a couple of pounds, you know, through to a high-end one, I'm sure upwards of like £15, £20. But just thinking about the water bottle, think about something that is going to have a decent quantity within it. Usually if it's see-through and someone can see the amount that drinking, that's going to be helpful as well. One that's going to travel well, so that has a screw cap, that's something that clamps down well. If they're popping it in a sports bag or a work bag, it's not going to dribble anywhere. And possibly something that has an attachment on it, so a little loop, whether this is some sort of latex, rubber or rope loop, that can then be connected onto a sports bag or just quickly picked up to be carried. It's going to make it a lot more convenient. Now, in terms of the capacity of these, I would suggest you want something that is upwards of a litre. So basically a litre is going to be pretty good. If you can get a 1.5 litre, that's fine. You don't really want to go for 2 litres perhaps, because that's going to be too cumbersome. But a litre is going to be a great size, just to remind someone that they need to be topping that up and that they need to be drinking and staying hydrated throughout their day, and especially throughout their activities and their workouts. Then following on from this idea of someone, if they are actually active and they're wanting to start moving their body and do some exercise, then a really great one is, of course, active wear. So getting them something that they can wear that it's going to help them just get into that mode, get into that mood, and feel like they are a bit more ready to do their exercise. Now, there's a plethora out there, so I'm not going to name any particular brands at the moment. What I'm going to suggest, though, is if you are buying for a woman, then a great thing to get them is a set of seamless leggings. Now, I said set because you can often get this with a top and with a bottom, but seamless leggings are wonderful because they are often high-waisted, which means that they're more comfortable to wear than the old-fashioned or the previous fashion of wearing a hipster-style legging. And they just really keep that body feeling nice and enclosed around the midriff and the core and the pelvis. They're often very pliable and stretchy. They have a lot more stretch to them than your average legging. So if you've got someone who's doing flexibility training or getting down and doing lots of squats, they are not going to be busting out of or splitting out of seamless leggings as easily as you would a different type of legging. Also, they can be just a lot more comfortable because they are seamless. They are often made of a thinner fabric that kind of sits between the fabric of a legging and a tight. But it often means that when you're wearing them, it literally feels like you're not wearing anything. And trust me, when you're doing exercise, this is a good thing rather than a negative thing. And because they're made of this extra stretchy fabric, they often have a lot more length. So if you're buying for someone who is taller, you will find that the one same size of legging will often fit someone who is tall as well as fit someone who is more petite and shorter. So I think these are great. You can buy these everywhere. Like I said, check out if there are any vendors who are selling them who have smaller shops. If not, these things can be bought on places like Etsy. They can be bought from some of your bigger chains, department stores and sportswear clothing now because they are very popular. But I would say this is a must, and these are the type of clothes I always wear when I'm working out and that I feel most comfortable in. Now, our last one, can you believe we've already got to 10, is going to be footwear. And I'm going to talk about this in terms of wellness. So I'm not talking about going out and buying those gorgeous high-heeled shoes because they're actually not that good for you. What I'm going to suggest is buying footwear that really nourishes the foot and the body from the sole up. So I'm going to be suggesting barefoot shoes. Now, in terms of a barefoot shoe, if you're buying something that is an everyday wear shoe, so for example, something that looks typically like a shoe or a boot, then you can buy these, but they are going to be fairly expensive. So again, check your budget. Check whether this is the type of stylish shoes someone's going to wear, because we all know what we should wear, but not everyone will wear it, because you don't want to be spending over £100 on something somebody's not going to wear. But I'm going to give you a cheaper option. I'm going to suggest that you buy some barefoot shoes for somebody for their workout. So like a barefoot trainer. Now, this is a good way of segueing someone into barefoot shoes because they're more likely to wear the barefoot shoe for that specific workout than they are to transition to it straight away as an everyday option to wear out to work, to wear on their nights out. So a barefoot trainer is a great option. Now, you have your big branded names, you have things like the Vivo barefoot shoes, but what you also have now, thank goodness, is a range of them that are being made that have a good quality, that are at a cheaper range. Now, they used to be very expensive because they were highly specialised, there weren't many companies making them. So you had to be spending upwards of £100 on one of these good branded pairs. Now the price is starting to come down. Now you have some competition from other vendors, sellers, manufacturers creating these. You can go on to places like Amazon and find a decent barefoot trainer or running shoe that is going to cost about £30 or £35. You have some that are even less than that. Just be sure that you're checking the size for the person you're buying it for and that you check the reviews of whatever you are going to buy. But this is a great one because, and I don't have time to go into it fully here, but barefoot exercise, barefoot living is one of the best things you can do for your body in such a simple way. Because once we take the heel out of the shoe and we allow our foot to connect properly to the floor, we really strengthen our body from the ground up, we increase our proprioception, we start to shift our posture, and that can have huge effects on our myofascial and our musculoskeletal system and getting rid of aches and pains as well. So there you have it. There are my 10 wellness related gifts. I hope you found something of use in here. You're going to have to go and do a bit of research if you like any of these ideas, but just type in any of those keywords that I've given to you and you will be able to find some amazing options for you. And often all of them will have a range that you'll be able to bring down or fit into a budget. So thanks for watching my video today. If you found something of benefit here, please go ahead, like the video, but most importantly, share it so that other people can benefit. Drop a comment for me below because I would love to know which of these do you think is going to be the most useful gift for you? Which one do you think someone you know and love is going to benefit from, or in fact that you're going to go out and buy? So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to check out my new videos soon. And until I see you next time, I wish you well.